Hi, it's me, Khandie, and I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do if you're thinking of leaving your job or even just starting up as a side hustle photography in 2024. I did one a couple of years ago and the year before that, but I never did one for 2023. So that I can recall. If I have, put it in the comments below because I'm sure I didn't. But let's get on for one for 2024. A lot of this is going to be repeated from the previous years with a few updates as things have developed over the years. But I'll be honest, when I was doing this, went, damn, I need to redo that. I need to check that. And a lot of this is really insightful. I feel I ran it through photographer friends of mine and they were like, yes, yes, yes. And yeah, so let's get into it. Honestly, I hate calling it a side hustle. It's a job. It shouldn't be treated so trivially because there's legality over being a photographer and using people's images. So let's not use it as a side hustle. Let's say it's a job for what it is, okay? Especially, and this is just a warning now, we have been made aware that in January 2024, the DWP have a whole new department that is focused on people's social media to see what they're getting up to on social media and how much accountability are and if they're registering it and all that kind of stuff. I hate that that's happening, but it is. The rise of the influencer and all of that has probably contributed to this. So let's stop calling it a side hustle and assume that everybody's doing this legit and is registered, but I do cover some of that in here, okay? So let's go. I am going to come straight out with the boring side, but it's not the boring one because this is the bit of the admin that is genuinely going to make sure that you at least try and have a good shot at being a photographer, a successful photographer in 2024, and that is getting a business plan. Now, I hate paperwork. I am with you. I hate admin. I'm 100% with you. But getting a business plan is so beneficial for you in the long term. You're not wasting time. You know what your goals are. You're literally going to set your goals. You're going to set who your target market is. Even if that target market, by the way, and those goals can change as you become more experienced, as you find different market groups, all of that. But right now, you go, okay, I'm going to focus solely on this. And if you go, I'm going to do everybody, you are not a buffet system, okay? Do not try and fit everybody. Go for one niche or niche, depending on where you are in the world, and focus solely on them, because that means you can divert all your energy just to them. And you're not trying to spread yourself in the hope that you catch somebody. You've got a very bespoke network, and that is what's going to draw those clients in. Try not, and I mean this, try and be the photographer everyone, because you are not going to get that way. If anything, social media has taught us that you can't be that photographer everyone. You can have a unique selling point. You can have a certain style. Oh, it's my phone going. But you need to be 100% aware of who your target market is. You might get clients that step outside that, but when you're starting up, really do focus on who it is that you want to attract. As I mentioned before in the intro, tax registering, I mean it. I cannot get over just how many photographers openly admit that they're not tax registered here in the UK. I cannot fathom it. And it's the same with photographers who come in from overseas, who say, no, I haven't got a visa. Get yourself on the legal side. You do not want to come a cropper with them. I mean it. It is not even that hard to do. Just go register. And as you can, and I'm going to say this, the HMRC website is really easy to negotiate for the most part. And it has so much information and blogs and stuff they write about, and they send out newsletters to you so you understand stuff. And with that, get yourself a digital accounting system. I personally use QuickBooks. I'm in no way like that. I'm not going to say like go use them if you want to, but for me, QuickBooks is so easy. I can track my mileage in my car. So if I'm doing a personal journey, I don't have to have that registered. I can swipe to register a business one. It tells me what kind of things I've got coming up. It's so insightful. You can use it for people who are self-employed, a business, everything. Just get it. You can put it on your phone. It's so intuitive. I absolutely love it. And at the end of the year, I can literally just pull the figures off of that and put them into my tax return if I want to. I give it to my accountant, admittedly, but there you go. You've got those set up. Okay, so get it. And if you think, oh, it's costing money, well, that comes on to my next point, pricing structure. If you are running a business or you are being a professional, you should be charging for your work. Legally, you have to have so many systems set in place that will cost you money. So why on earth are you not charging people for the bare minimum? And that is so inherent, I find, when people start off, oh, you need to do stuff for free. You don't need to do anything for free. You've bought a camera, maybe you take a couple of headshots of yourself or you do some product, whatever it is. But when it comes to clients and building your portfolio, pay them. If you need to pay a model, you might go, I haven't got the money for that. Then you don't have the money to start a business, really, because you need a contingency plan. You need some savings. I mean this, you need a small amount, which is an absolute frigging privilege to have. But when you pay a model, you can put that through your taxes because you're paying them for a service, okay? So you can do it this way. And also, if you want to do it for trade, there is a possibility of doing it for trade, okay? So where you give them the images. But those images have to have a value. So you need to understand what the value is, because when you do the contract, you need to state the value in the contract, how much the item is worth that you're gifting them in return for their services, okay? And that it's so much about your pricing structure, and people go, oh, I don't know what to charge. Well, I'll tell you what, you need to sit down and get yourself a list. How much is your internet every month? Because you need high-speed internet, okay? No one needs slow uploading. How much is your subscription service to all the software you're going to use a month? How much do you pay for this? How much do you pay for that? Everything that you need to use. Sit there and go, what do I need to use? How much is my insurance every month? By the way, you need insurance. We're coming on to that. And work it out. And then you go, well, how many times a month can I shoot? And that's when you start raising how much your cost of doing business. Do some maths. No one can go, I hate these posts on Facebook. Goes, how much do people charge for a half an hour shoot with 20 images? Like, you don't know how much my bills are. I could be still living at home where I get everything for free. You know, you don't know what my bills are. Why are you asking that question? It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. A better one would be, hi, everyone in the town of Richmond in the UK, how much is your internet? Who are you with? Because that's a very bespoke. You can find out if there's a cheaper internet system to use. That would make more sense than just, okay, how much do you charge for this? Because you never know what people's outgoings, ingoings are, all of that. So I suggest you stop doing that and you put on your big girl and pants, whatever you want to call it, and go actually do some work. Because welcome to being in business as a photographer, where you'll spend so much more time doing admin. And if you don't like doing admin, I suggest you outsource it, because it'll save you time, money, and a lot of stress. And if you can't outsource it, you need to start charging for more money for your work. It's a catch-22. Get it together. I spoke about insurance. I cannot understand how you can go into business without having insurance. And I don't mean, oh, I've got my household insurance. No, go get proper insurance. I use Policy B. If you mention Khandie Photography, you get a little gift. I'm just going to put that there if you want to use Policy B. They've been incredible for me. You might remember a couple months ago, I got robbed. I had the money in my account to replace all my kit, and I was back up and running within 8 to 10 days. Done. It was done. It was so easy to do. Meanwhile, a friend of mine got her stuff stolen in a house robbery, and she wasn't covered because of how excessive the camera equipment was. And it's not just public liability. You need to go speak to a proper photography insurance broker, and they will talk you through it. I have to be covered when I travel. I have to be covered when I do events. I cover when I teach, all of that. Go and get real insurance. While you're on the topic of getting insurance, because I would just say this from my own personal experience, every time you purchase an item, put it in a database, try and keep the receipt somewhere, even if it's just an eBay invoice, and the serial number on that product, because that is what saved my ass when I got robbed, okay? Because I had all that information. Get used to doing it, keep an itinerary when you bought it, because then you can look at the depreciation value, but it also means maybe it's time to upgrade. You can have a look at, well, I've only had that so many times, it's fine. And you might think, oh, it's boring admin. Welcome to being in business, it's admin. I'm gonna go into portfolio, and with that, I'm gonna cover AI. Now, with your portfolio, no one is going to book you if they don't see what it is you want to shoot in your portfolio, which is why you hire models, go to group shoots, all that kind of thing, okay? I get that, right? Go do that. However, I am going to say don't fake it with AI. I've seen quite a few photographers using AI to create a scene that they haven't shot, and it's AI generated. That is unscrupulous in my opinion, and that is not very good for you, because you are putting it into your portfolio and suggesting that you can shoot like that and you have that facility. No, don't do that. Also, on the subject of AI, you're going to see a lot of people who are going to say, well, I can just do that as AI. Why would I bother being a photographer nowadays, or a headshot photographer with AI? Don't get me wrong, AI is incredible, but it is incredibly impersonal, and it creates a very, for the untrained eye, you can spot AI quite clearly. It's too smooth. It doesn't have the right texture enough. You know, it's okay for in the background stuff, but you've seen the pictures. You know, you only have to, I mean, I love the mid-journey images, but you can spot them. You can see them. Now, a lot of people think, oh my God, what great photography, but you can see the little marks here and there. The problem is with AI is that, like with anything new, it can be heavily used and not always publicly announced it's AI, okay? I remember advertising headshot sessions this year, and someone saying, well, I can just get my headshot set off of AI. Yeah, you could, but when people meet you in real life, they're going to realize you don't look like that, and it's going to look like a heavily airbrushed picture of you. Your headshot should be natural, you on a really good day, skincare up to premium and have slept and hydrated. Not you with plastic skin, not you with this weird skin texture. It has to look like you. So what I say to my clients is, I give the you on your best day, AI gives you what it thinks you should look like, which isn't necessarily what you look like. AI is not personal. It is a computer program that is you typing in a few words, and it does all the hard work, and then you're going to claim it's yours. I know that's a controversial take on it, and I know there's a lot more to discuss on AI, but I'm not going to go massively into it. But when you come up against that, I'm going to say, don't be put off by being a photographer because the rise in AI. AI has been here for years and years and years, and it's meant to be used as a tool. It is not the entire product, okay? Unless you are doing AI art, which you need to announce it's AI art, otherwise that would be unfair. Now, I don't necessarily think AI art is always truly art, because you are inputting a code and allowing a computer programmer who's written the code for AI to generate the image. And I'm not sure how the ownership would go, but let's just say it's art for this sake. But when people use that as a reason as not to become a photographer, you can bat it back. It's not personal. It's not you. It's what computers decided you should look like. When I first started out being a photographer, I spent way too long on a logo, and I haven't changed it since, and I friggin' hate my logo. It was just a quick purchase after spending months and months trying to decide, and then I just went, oh my God, panicked and bought it. And I use it on stickers when I'm sending products out, and I use it on my vouchers. But do you know what the best thing I ever did was shove my face in front of my brand. I literally stopped hiding behind a logo, and I saw that my clients really engaged with me a lot more. They got to see what I was like more as a person through my headshots. And it just changed everything about the presentation of my brand. I didn't want just a logo that anyone else could buy. So I've tended to choose, if you have a look on all of my profiles, it is definitely my face or a picture of me that's on there. So that's definitely what I'm going to say. They're cute and all, but they aren't the be all and end all. A lot of people spend way too much time focused on that and spend way too much money on that. And often they tend to fall into a couple of categories. You have the whimsical looking one. Then you might find they come in trends. Like there was the whimsical flower one. Then there was the antler. And then there was a geometric. It happens. I had the paintbrushes. I fell for it as well. All I'm going to say is try and spend less time on that and understanding more about what your brand's about. Are you a eccentric, bright, colorful photographer who loves doing that work? Or are you a moody, fine art looking photographer? And make sure that is what is kind of the vibe and the colors that you're choosing for your brand. Okay, that is what travels across for you. You aren't simply just going, oh, I like that color today, I like that color today, and doing that. And get that message. Again, it's admin. Welcome to the world of working for yourself. It's a whole load of admin and not as much fun as you think it's going to be, but the payoff is great. Believe me, stay the course. Which leads me quite nicely on to client management software, which is again something you need to purchase, particularly if you are in the United Kingdom. Under the UK law, we are governed by GDPR, which protects people's personal data, which can and does include their personal imagery if they are identifiable, which as a photographer, that means you need to know about it. If you're going to store their data, you need to have a policy there. And there is enough information for you to go and Google or use whatever search engine. Is there any other search engine? Feel free to put them in the comments below. I can never remember any of them. Do you remember Ask Jeeves? I remember Ask Jeeves. That's how old I am. Anyway, so you need to have a client manager. I personally use Studio Ninja. I have loads of discount codes. If you check the video description in this, there's loads there. Feel free to have at it, but there are loads. There's Light Blue, Honeybooks, whatever it's called. There's loads. I like Studio Ninja. It's just a personal preference. It integrates with my Google Calendar, all that stuff, right? It's my personal preference. On there, I have my contracts, my calendar. I can see how much money I've made on month to date, year to date in comparison to all the other months I've done, what jobs I've got outstanding. It keeps me on the straight and narrow with my jobs I've got to do, okay? It tells me when a client has opened an email from me. So when they say, oh, I didn't get that email, well, you opened it, I can see that. And I can send them that and say, hey, you opened it, I can see that, okay? It has automated responses for me. I can do my online booking system. So when I run my Christmas minis, which you can just about make out over here, everyone was able to book my Christmas minis via that. I didn't have to go get a secondary app. Everything is within there. My contracts are stored there. There is a questionnaire, all digitalized. Everything is digitalized and encrypted. So I am protected, my client is protected, and they can access through their own client portal, which looks hella swanky, to get all their information about their shoot. Also, I can send them reminders that they've got a photo shoot, so I have less downtime because people are late. I get to just earn my money. I know that's really cheesy to say that, but honestly, Lightroom has paid back in dividends. Another thing I think is greatly overlooked, particularly as we become sort of self-absorbed in our own business, is the continuation of our learning. I regularly watch YouTube channels, YouTube videos. I regularly go on seminars. I just enjoy learning. It's a thing I enjoy. I don't just simply dip and dive out of Pinterest, although that's a great board to use. I like learning. And why? Because I learn about how social media is developing. I learn about different things coming out from Adobe Photoshop. I learn about different networking opportunities. I like learning. You need to get on learning as well. And you might think, I haven't got the time. listen to the odd podcast, listen to people talking, continue your learning. It's so invaluable to stay ahead and keep motivated and inspired as long as you keep learning. So keep bloody learning. Another thing I need you to remember and look into is how you deliver your images to your client. I highly recommend getting a more professional system than Dropbox or WeTransfer. They are great, but I feel like it gives you a slicker look if you actually have a image transfer system that is for you, even if you're only doing in-person sales where you have someone come to a place and view the images. I have Pixie Set. I have the discount code if you want it, the referral code if you like, in the description below. However, I'm going to say I get a lot of passive income from my Pixie Set. So basically I sell my prints via Pixie Set. It's linked to my Loxley account. Loxley then print them and send them out to my client. Now, you can choose to do that. You can choose other printing software, self-fulfillment if you want to choose it yourself, but it's so easy because it's automated and it cuts down on my time. It's a really nice presentation of images. It's really good when I want someone, say my headshot clients, I've been on location, I'm shooting, and they say, can we review them once you've like done some tweaks on them? And I can send them and then they can write their little comments if they want. It's all about ease for my client. If you are looking into that, I highly recommend Pixar. There are other ones like PicTime and so many out there. I highly recommend you look at that. It's a professional look for yourself. And the last one I'm probably going to say, other than watch all my videos and subscribe, because your girl's putting a lot of effort on this, you're literally balanced on a statue here right now, which is why it shakes. Anyway, is to network. And you might be like, I can't do that, I'm an introvert. So do it online. Attend live seminars and get in those comments. Attend meetings if you can and groups. Now, I personally don't like the business networking groups too much because I find them a little, dare I say, the ones I've attended in my experience, so disclaimer there, in my experience, I've been a bit culty and a little bit insistent that I join them with heavy membership fees. So get out into other places. Don't just hang out with other photographers. Go and meet videographers, go meet hairdressers, go hang out at creative networking. If there isn't one in your area, set up an online one. If there isn't one, because I tell you what, if there's one in your area, I guarantee there are other creatives who want to do it. I guarantee, right? If there isn't the place, make the space. Oh, I like that. I should coin that if it's not already been done. If there isn't the place, make the space. Yes. And the other thing I think is like, don't be afraid to engage in the Facebook comment groups or on online discussions and add your voice, because it's one of the biggest things to get yourself noticed and people to know who you are if you add your voice a lot more. By adding your voice, you build a reputation that gets you noticed, which gives you some credibility, which then can lead to work with clients. Don't overlook social media accounts, platforms such as LinkedIn. I get a lot of work from LinkedIn. Also Instagram, you know, if your client is on Instagram, yay. Now, a funny thing is my personal project work is very rarely on Instagram, but a lot of the stuff that attracts my clients is put on Instagram. So you don't need to dump everything onto one social media. I like to kind of cultivate where I put certain projects because that's the kind of person I'm doing. So LinkedIn is very much a business platform. And so I tend to put a lot of my business orientated content on that. So if it's headshots, if it's about branding, it goes on that. If it's about portraits that are snazzy and jazzy and everyone looks incredible, it's going to go on Instagram. If it's heartfelt stories and it's stories about my clients, it's going to go on my Facebook. You kind of get it. It's not how I've chosen to do it. It's not necessarily the best way to do it. It's how it's working for me. But like I said, I am me and you are you. We are very different. We just happen to have a camera in our hands. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to say, a final note, do not get a gearhead on you, okay? Do not think equipment makes you a better photographer. It can enhance a project, but outgrow your kit before you start getting yourself into debt, okay? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.